Well, down the road from Trawsfynydd here is Coed y Brenin and the village of Ganllwyd, with the River Mowddach flowing down towards the village of Llanelltid. And between Ganllwyd and Llanelltid, on the banks of the Mowddach, you will find a house called Dôl y Clochydd. Many, many years ago, back in the mists of time, there was a woman who lived in Dôl y Clochydd. Her name was Siwsi. Siwsi was a dynes hysbys, a woman who had the answer for everything. She had the knowledge. Every area had a dynes hysbys or a dyn hysbys in those days, of course. And they would help people with their problems, especially if they were medicinal problems. They knew which plants to pick to make certain ointments and medicines. Some people might have called Siwsi a gwrach, a witch. Now, Siwsi lived in Dôl y Clochydd with her friend, the cat. She had a huge cat, a big, fluffy, hairy lion of a cat. She was multicoloured and multi-patterned, and wherever Siwsi went, the cat was sure to go as well. And one day, Siwsi had gone to the forest to get some firewood. And of course, the cat was there with her. And they heard the hunting horn of Arglwydd y Nannau, his lordship from the Nannau. And suddenly, the hounds came running past, hunting a young deer. But they let the deer go, sensing the cat. And they chased the cat and caught the cat and killed it. And Siwsi was fuming. And she was shouting and she was cursing his lordship of Nannau and his hounds. After this occurrence, every time his lordship of Nannau was out hunting with the hounds, they would pick up the scent of a young deer, a young doe, would lead them along the same path, taunting them to follow her, until they got to a deep ravine. And she, being a young and graceful doe, would leap across the ravine, landing safely at the other side and turning towards the hounds, daring them to follow her. But of course, they were dogs, they were hounds. They weren't graceful deer who leapt across ravines, and they were there, barking and snarling at her before she left into the forest. And this kept on happening every time they went hunting. And his lordship from the Nannau was fed up with this. And so this one day, he kept hissing at his dogs, making them follow over the ravine. And one by one, the dogs leapt, but never made it to the other side. And they all, one by one, leapt to their death on the rocks below. And the doe, the young graceful doe, left quietly and disappeared into the forest. Now, some people believe that that doe was indeed Siwsi, because they believed that she had the power to transform herself into a young deer. I don't know. What do you think? By now there's a bridge, a beautiful bridge, built over the ravine, and you can visit it. It's called Pont Llam yr Ewig, the bridge of the leap of the doe.